right, everyone, we are on to section 2 of the Manuscript Podcast. Thanks again for watching. And we are talking in this section about something that I have seen become very prevalent as I've been growing up and just being out in public and seeing other humans interact. And so I thought it was worth bringing up to this male audience that's watching this podcast. And, if you fit one of these statistics, maybe think about not fitting one of the statistics. But you're still wondering, what are we talking about? Let's get into it. Okay, so according to the Pew Research Center, among partnered adults in the United States, that is, those who are married, cohabitating, or in a committed relationship, roughly 51% say their partner is often or sometimes distracted by their cell phone while they are trying to have a conversation with them. And 4 in 10 say that they are at least sometimes bothered by the amount of time their partner spends on their mobile device. Oh, and also, one last little thing. According to the same study, 34% of partnered adults say that they have looked through their partner's cell phone without that person's knowledge. Let's talk about this. Let's do a deep dive. Let's see, logically, what is this showing us? What is this telling us? Well, I talked an episode or two ago about how much time we as Americans spend on just consuming media, and it's inordinate. It's something like 33% of our day, our waking hours, is spent consuming media. It's crazy. But I want to talk about this because I do think it is something that is contributing a lot to the downfall of healthy and good relationships, and it's this lack of genuine communication, right? And just one-on-one, mano-a-mano, talking to your significant other. Like for me, that's one of my favorite things about my relationship. I love getting to talk to my fiance. It's amazing. We have some incredible discussions, and we get to dream together and talk about all kinds of things together that, only people in that specific relationship of a man and a woman who love each other can actually talk about. And you get to know this person's going to be with you for the rest of the time. And so you can really dream big. And you got to be realistic, but you can dream big and you can have these amazing conversations and talk about your hopes and fears of the future. And it's a really bonding and amazing experience. And it seems, according to this statistic, that, roughly half of people who have partners say that they're upset that their partner is distracted by their cell phone, and that's just their cell phone, I mean, not other things, when they're trying to have these conversations. And so we're, trading one thing for another. Perhaps we're trading, a bunch of dopamine hits on your phone and a bunch of distractions on your phone from a truly connected and, amazing relationship with your partner. Possibly. And, also that last little stat where they were talking about how 34% of partner adults say that they have looked through their partner's cell phone without that person's knowledge. Now, first off, this ties very, very well back into the first part of this podcast where we were talking about living a shameless life. Man, if you live a shameless life, that's not an issue. Like my phone, my fiance could look through it at any time. I'm not worried that there's anything on there that, wouldn't be completely in line with our relationship and that wouldn't, there's nothing on there that would upset her, right? And that's because I try and, I'm definitely not perfect at it, but I try and live a shameless life. And so, once again, that first part is like, okay, that's not really a problem if you're living a shameless life. I mean, it is a problem to the extent that if those 34% of people are looking through to try and find dirt on their partner, well, that shows a extreme lack of trust. And that obviously is terrible for any relationship. You have to, I think, this is my personal opinion, have a certain sense of vulnerability and trust. You could get burned, but it's worth it because, the fruits of two people that actually do love each other and care about each other and trust each other is amazing. But it's really sad when you go out to a restaurant or, you go to some amazing place where you could have a date, right? And you look around and there are couples who are obviously couples, right? It's a guy and a gal, and they're just, they're definitely there on a date. and yet they're not really there because they're both absorbed in their phones, right? They're just stuck in their phones, like there's glue on that bad boy, and your eyes can't look away. It's a train wreck, and you can't stop looking. You can stop looking. It requires a little bit of self-discipline, saying no to yourself and saying yes to your partner, which, damn it, I mean, I feel like that's more romantic. Like, why not just say no to your phone for a little bit? Why not say yes to your partner and to an amazing conversation? And it's funny because, like a lot of times when I go to those places, I don't even have my phone on me, and it's nice. Man, it's nice because the phone is a distraction, 100%. I'm guilty too. I mean, I get it. Like your phone can distract you, but I kind of made a decision when I first started dating my soon-to-be wife that I was like, oh yeah, this could be the real deal. Like, she's amazing, and this could be the real deal. So it's like, no, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that I am contributing to this relationship's growth and making it better. And part of that is just having great conversations. And it was funny, but like when you don't have your phone on you, you're in this weird spot where you can't like pull out your phone and look at it and avoid conversation. You got to think about something to say. And a lot of times that leads to just some of the most, either funny or deep or just amazing conversations that you wouldn't ever have had otherwise, right? I used to think of, like, if you guys have watched Lord of the Rings, I've thought of your phone as like the ring of power, right? It's like you can put it on and disappear from everyone, right? You can pull out your phone and just get absorbed in it and look at it, and nobody's going to mess with you, right? Because you're devoting your attention to something else. There's like a bunch of weird studies out there too, like at parties where you point your feet matters, and if you've got two people that their feet are pointed directly at each other, the odds that someone comes up to that conversation and tries to join it are very slim. Why? Because they're showing like an intense connection, right? An intense I'm missing the word here. They're in an intense conversation, right? And they're very dedicated and devoted to what they're talking about. And so as a person looking at that, even body language wise, you say, yeah, that's not the conversation to try and go join because they're in the thick of it right now. And those conversations are some of the best. So we're cheating ourselves. We're cheating ourselves out of a good time. Like a thing that, like some of the dinner conversations I've had with my wife-to-be is like, you leave and you feel amazing. And by the way, I'm not trying to like brag about this, but like it's true that, and I've talked to a lot of couples that feel this way, but you have these amazing conversations. It just gives you this intense high where you're like, man, I just feel like I could conquer the world with this lady, like it's the bomb. And I just think that we are truly cheating ourselves out of this deep connection with our partners. And so if you find yourself, being one of these 51% that you're being rude because you're on your phone when your partner is trying to have a conversation with you, then change. I mean, it's that simple. It's that hard, and it's that simple, And just because something's simple doesn't mean that it's easy, but, leave your phone in the car. If you're going out to dinner, make it a point to try and even just think of new topics to talk about and to bring up new discussions and just pick the person's brain on what they're thinking about and what's worrying them, what's on their plate recently, like what's been the best thing that's happened to them recently. There's all these amazing conversations that technology gives us an out, gives us an excuse to not have. And as a result, we're less happy. So if you're a man that's part of that 51%, where you are, that your addiction to technology or your not even an addiction, but like a strong adherence to technology when you shouldn't be around your partner, like just change that. Put your phone down, lock it away for a little bit, relax, enjoy the world around you. Stop trying to escape into something new, something different. Be present, be where you're at, be with your partner, have a great life. That's all I'm trying to get at here. But I thought that was a really interesting stat, and it didn't really surprise me, I suppose. But I do think, like, as men, that let's take the initiative, all right? Let's not just, like, point all the time at our partner and say, oh, you should be doing this or that. Like, let's take the initiative. Let's lead, okay? Let's put down our phone and try and have a meaningful conversation with that person. That's all I have to say on the second part of the podcast. I hope you enjoyed.